So just a quick voiceover. Basically, you load up into the game. There's a bunch of menus in the main menu to navigate important areas of the game, like the junkyard and the house and the garage. You enter your garage. You can open up the garage with the button there. You have the lift. You got a bunch of tools on the ground. You have a book where you can order parts for every car, which is the only way you get parts in the game. Although you can also get parts from a shop, but you can only get wheels and tires from the shop. Here you can only get engine parts and body parts, accessories, windows, etc. So the main parts in the game are going to be ordered from this book directly in your garage. As you can see, I just bought a door panel. And then here there's a phone, which we'll go over in a second. And then if I want to throw out this door panel, I have a garbage over here. It'll give us a little bit of money back, but it won't give us money back on damaged parts. We also start off with 10,000. So this phone, you can take jobs and you can skip them to get different jobs, and you can skip it as much as you want, and there's no penalty. Although jobs are probably the worst way to make money in the game, but it's really good for new players to get accustomed with different vehicles and the parts on them. But in terms of making money, it's horrible. Like, you only make 39 bucks. Like, that's absolutely horrible. The best one is changing the transmission. Those jobs pay a few thousand. That's what I did when I first started playing, but when you get more familiar with the game, these are not worth it at all. You need to be updated to like provide better value. We have the gas station with gas and diesel for cars. Here you can buy your coolant and oil, snacks you don't have to worry about, some extra parts like light bulbs and brake fluid, batteries. They're slightly cheaper in the gas station than in the catalog. And then to empty out fluid, you right click it and then you tilt your mouse wheel and it will tilt the fluid out. Then in the escape menu, you can click on the buttons on the far bottom right to take a taxi to your base, to your house, or to the junkyard. The junkyard is the main place where you're going to get vehicles to fix up. And so it usually lags a little bit, so you want to turn down the number of vehicles to about 5 or 6. No matter how good your computer is, it will lag if you have a lot of vehicles. That's just the way the game is. Usually it's recommended to quick save before going into the junkyard because it could crash your game, and it usually takes a while to load. And you can also buy a lot of parts on sale, and a really good place to find used engine blocks for later in the game, which you'll have to transport manually back, but you can get engine blocks for really cheap in the junkyard. You just gotta find ones that aren't rusted. Although you do risk getting new parts from the junkyard, and they could break faster than if you just buy it brand new from a catalog, because they already have like wear points on them, so they can break faster. So here, I just look at some parts. There's this random trailer bed that's in the air. I look around. The trucks are not the best. You press T for your flashlight. And here I decide that I don't like any of these vehicles, so what you can do is reload the junkyard to get new vehicle spawns if you don't like them. And there's a bunch of piles of parts. Usually it's a bunch of crap parts, but sometimes you'll find engines and engine components, which can save you a lot of money. So we TP back to our garage, and we use the sofa by pressing enter to skip time, make it a new day. We go back to the junkyard, and then we reload the junkyard to get new car spawns. And you can do that indefinitely. Like, there's no really time limit. You can do that as many times as you want until you get like a good car spawn. So we just wait for it to load, which takes a while. And then usually there's a little bit of FPS drop off. There's a bunch of parts here. A couple cars. I usually avoid trucks because they're a little tricky to work on, just because they're bigger. The Lad is like the cheapest car you can get. So you press I when you're next to a vehicle, and it'll pull up this information. How much it costs, how many stars it has, aka condition. The less stars it has, the cheaper it is. So we end up buying the Lad by just clicking buy there. And then it will automatically spawn the vehicle outside of the junkyard. Then we have to press I on the vehicle again. It will pop this up and we can choose where we want to bring it. So for a $100 fee, we can bring it to our house, garage, or customer sign. Customer sign is at our garage, so it's the same thing. We bring it to our garage, we go back to the garage. There it is in front of the customer sign, which is at our garage. And now we take off the handbrake, because with the handbrake engaged, you cannot move a car. And the only way to move it right now is by pushing it manually, since the engine is obviously not working and it has no tires. So you just gotta push it to where you need it. It'll be a little janky, but usually it's pretty fine. And you can move all vehicles, like no matter how big they are, like this. Sometimes the wheels will kind of clip on the floor there, but it's not a problem usually. If a vehicle has 0 wheels, it's sometimes very difficult to push it. So you also want to buy vehicles that have at least 1 or 2 wheels, because it moves a little easier. And here we can click the lift arms, and we can extend it if we want to. It's sometimes a little janky using the lift arms, but it's usually pretty good. We want to make sure we get it in the center of the car, so that the car doesn't like flip upside down. Press to go up, and press to go down. You can just hold it while you're pressing it, and then you can like hold it and walk away, and it will still go up as long as you hold it. We have a bunch of tools there, which you can figure out later how to use. This is just the basics. So the wrench is your most important tool. You press F to switch modes. You can loosen and tighten bolts. All bolts are like this light gray, so it's pretty easy to find what you have to loosen and tighten. You press Q to look forward, which helps a lot for finding parts. And it's actually good to clip through objects. It helps loosening and tightening a lot easier. So we take off those 2 pieces, and now we just have to find the exact same in the book. So we go to the car, which is Lad. We already have it selected. We go to the suspension, we look for the upper control arm, and we're getting it for the left, so we get the front left. Then we buy it, and then we do it the same for the bottom, and it just spawns it right there. Press tab to open our bag, press E to put it in our bag, then we press middle mouse button to get it out of our bag. You just hover it over the same area, but it'll do a check mark to show it can fit. Then you tighten all the bolts back up. And with time, like, you'll learn where all the parts are, and that's basically it. That's what you do for every part of the car. For the most basic way how to play this game. Really fun game. And there you go. That's how you basically get started. And then you get like your hose, and this is to clean it off. Then later you take off rust and repaint the car, and that adds a ton of value for reselling it. And to resell the car, you just press I on it and then sell it. And then here's like some bonus cars that I've made in the past on my main save. This is a collection of every car in the game right now that I've made over a period of time. And I hope this was helpful for somebody, at least, because I know this game is quite confusing at first, but it's a really fun game, so hopefully it helped.